Good evening. My name is Senora Rodriguez and I teach Spanish at Rutherford High School. I have been working here for the past 22 years and I have been teaching Spanish for the past 35 years, from all the way from elementary to college. So I am very happy to teach Spanish 2 this year to your child, but I also teach Spanish 4 honors and AP. So hopefully I will see them in the future again. I would like to discuss what we are going to be doing this year and what are the expectations and what is our curriculum. Behind me, you see a PowerPoint presentation. I have outlined every information that you might need, and it's posted on Google Classroom for you in your child's classroom. It was posted at the beginning of the school year on September 8th, 9th, and the 10th. Any questions that you may have, you can go there or you can email me and I'll be happy to answer any questions. The first thing I would like to talk to you about is the book. This year we have an online book and it's called Así se dice. We also used it for Spanish 1. The only difference between last year and this year is that last year we used a website called eStudio. So if you're familiar with it and your child is also, we will no longer be using it. We are using Connect Ed this year. So it's not different in the material. It's not different in the curriculum that we follow. It's the same book. However, it's just how we use it is a little bit different. It's not as interactive as eStudio, but we do have interactive activities. We have listening, so your child should be familiar with it by now. But if they have any problems, they can email me again, and I will help them connect. It's very important that they know how to use it. Behind me, like I said, is a PowerPoint presentation, and I would like to discuss a few things that we expect throughout the year. The first thing is preparation for the class. Whether they are at home or in school, they have to be on time. Unless there are any problems that I get an email, I expect them to be on time if they are marked present for school. I know it's a little bit challenging this year, but we try to make it as normal as possible. Again, on time assignments, we could have Zoom lessons, so every other day, more or less, we have Zoom discussions. We may have it more often, depending on how it's needed to be communicated with the students. The next one, as I just explained, is the textbook. And everything, this is my link for Google Classroom, for my website, where everything is outlined, and you can go there and see in details. The most important thing that the students are always concerned is the grading. I have broken down every single grading. 15% of the total grade is for homework. However, homework itself is graded as done or not done or incomplete. And this is the breakdown of the percentage. It has to be submitted before beginning of the class when it's due, because usually we go over some of the homework in class. Sometimes I just go over it by myself at home. But if we go over it in class and they haven't done it, they won't get credit for it because I already gave the answers. So it's very important that they keep up to date. Again, any problems, they can email me. Class participation is 25%. Whether they are at home or in class, it is very important that they participate. When we are on Zoom, I expect them to participate just like if they are in class. I see them, they see me, I can hear them, so therefore it's like being in class. I also attach another PowerPoint on etiquette, virtual etiquette. It's very important that the students follow that they're not laying down in bed, that they're not covering their head, that they're fully visible the way they will be in class, sitting down, doing their work, not on the phone, very similar like being in class. It's very important, and I will be in touch with you if they don't follow that protocol. Okay, the next thing, quizzes. We have online quizzes, we have in person. If they come to school, 20%. Sometimes they're speaking, so they would have to record something if they're at home. If they are in class, they would just speak it in front of the class or privately after school with me. test, 40% of the grade. Again, if they miss it, just like a quiz, if they miss it, they have to make it up as soon as possible. And the only reason they should miss it is if they're absent. If they are home and we schedule a test, they must take it. Otherwise, it's like a cut for the day and they can't make it up. That's school policy. So if they are at home and they're marked present in school, they must take the quizzes and tests that same day. Again, if there are any problems, you can email me and we can work together. Okay. I know that some students like to write on their still writing on notebook. They can take notes on their Chromebooks, Google Docs, or they can just use a notebook. It's up to them, but they need to take notes. Just because they're at home and we do a lot of Zoom discussion, that doesn't mean there's no note taking. A lot of the notes also will be updated by me on Google Classroom, but it's very, very important that they do take notes, especially when I'm speaking and we're having class discussions. Okay, submitting work. They will be submitting most of the work through Google Classroom the day it was assigned, even though it was due 2 or 3 days later, to avoid confusion. Please tell them not to email me, not to attach it to an email, not to share it. Very important they keep it in one place so I can find it quickly and grade it quickly. If they use a notebook and they would like to show it to me in class, no problem. Absences, it's their responsibility if they're absent to make up the work. Again, keep the communication open. Email me if they have any questions. Extra help. Since we are not in regular school hours, I have Zoom hours every day. I call them office hours. I have a Zoom discussion open from 1:17 until 2:36. They're free to pop in anytime, and then I will be able to help them with any questions, any makeup, also quizzes and tests they can do during this time. Cell phones and masks, just like school rules. They must have it on if they are wearing the mask if they're in school. If they're at home, the cell phones also apply. No cell phones in school, no cell phones at home while we are in class. Common courtesy, again, no eating, even if they're at home, it's the same as being in class. Remote and hybrid follow the same thing, virtual etiquette from home, school behavior policies. And if you have any questions, you can always email me. This is my email address. And I'm looking forward to having a great year, even though it's different. Again, email me and keep in touch with me if you have any problems. Thank you and have a good night.